we've got a segment that I believe is really informative for our viewers. It's called Explain Like I'm Gold. And some of our viewers, most people are gold. Most people around the world play SOLOQ and they're gold. They don't know many things. They don't know all the champions. They don't know what all the champions do. They don't know what things like priority are. Let's educate them. Let's explain what priority is from our own words to the viewers. Let's begin. What do you think is priority?
So priority for me as a mid laner is when I have the push, when I have the possibility to influence the map. You can do that in multiple ways. You can, as example, do that by winning your lane. You can do that by recalling, TPing back, and having new items, like items over your opponent, and then getting the push. And then you normally, in a scrim environment or like in a team environment, I would, in communication, tell my team that I'm able to go for Herald, Dragon, possibly bot or top lane dive, maybe going for like enemy jungle camps. So priority is just that you're ahead and that you can use your lead to influence the map.
Okay. See, I would describe it as when you're in lane and you can fight the other guy. You can pretty much do whatever you want against the other person, and they are at the mercy of how you want to play. And so as long as you have that, then you can use the fact that you are pushing them back to do whatever you want. And as long as you can do that, then I think you have priority. So when you're playing lane, and I'm just trying to explain it for the people who are playing gold, right? Like if you can, you find yourself like really strong in lane, and then you just walk past the creep wave and you're fighting that guy, that's a time where you have pressure. And one of the things you're choosing to do with it is harass the player, but you can do what you just said. Go to Herald, go do all these possibilities. So big priority is essentially saying if you made a queue of 2 people going to this event, a dragon fight, the mid laner that is harassing the other person will be first because they can move first. So they're in priority in the queue.
Yeah, I think that's pretty well explained.
It's the same thing for bot lane. I was going to say, there's so many different things that you could do if you have priority in the bot lane, whether it be like going to have your support go and roam with the jungler and go invade them if you're on like the bottom side of the map, go roaming up. If you, want to help the jungler with the baby scuttle or just getting dragon, depends.
Yes, please help with the scuttle.
Yeah. Yeah. Of course. I mean, it makes the jungler so much happier when you just have prio in your lane and you're able to go like as 3 and stop that support roaming, stop that jungler roaming, and I'm just picturing in my head being helpful.
Yeah. I'm picturing in my head where I just got top scuttler as blue side. I'm pinging the red side scuttler. I'm like, I want to get the second one, team. I know you have priority. You're pushed up, and then they don't collapse. I'm never ganking those lanes. Like, that's just it. Like these people don't understand what I want. So for me, I think how these laners utilize priority is almost more important than if they get it. Because if they get it and they're using it poorly, I'm going to be really sad. So how should somebody go about using priority if they're just starting to understand that this is a thing they can do?
Well, I think in like the most gold players or just like casual gamers, they use this priority and to harass your opponent, right? You're dominating your opponent, you have this priority, and then you decide, you push them into his turret, you decide to Pokemon at the turret, right? And most people just always default to that one. They just push him in, harass on the turret, push him in, harass on the turret. And I think then there's the players like similar to like Aurelion Sol, Talon, like just roam champions. They push in, roam, push in, roam. And I think a good player, or like if you want to become better, you should try to adapt and you should try to just see what is best. After every time you pushed in, you can decide, oh, is my jungler ready to do the dragon? Can I go dive bot lane? Or should I maybe just default and hit the enemy mid and another turret again, So I think it's just, you need to decide from situation to situation.
Should the default be harassing or should it be roaming?
That's really tough to say. I feel like the default should actually be harassing. It's, I think, just a problem if you do it every time. Like if you just harass every time and you don't think about roaming, you don't think about taking objectives, but I think most people do, then the default, like they don't have any other options. For them, the default is the only option.
Okay. And what about for bot? Because I think it's less, you have less options. You're at the mercy of your support and you can only go upwards. You can't really go down.
I'm thinking sometimes not only just having lane priority, but also having that priority to hold the wave in a really good spot. So like wave control, I've been like really nailing wave control right now.
Right. That's a really
Low
important
poly and
aspect.
afro have just been like really engraving that. But like, yeah, so priority could also be like making sure the wave is in your like possession and you're, you know, getting out 2 to 3 waves.
Right. So you're trying to use your priority in conjunction with the waves, because you want to roam
stop,
and then come back to a lane that has waves crashing towards you, like, yes, give me all the gold, and I didn't miss anything. So that's another layer of priority that I actually think might be too complicated for some people to pull off. Like, that is hard to do, because then we gotta explain. We're gonna have to make a podcast where we're talking about
wave
how you push waves, right? How you push, how you freeze them. But that is really good.